Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the IDH number 13016-015. Our site calls it 13016D. The letter after every IDH part number simply refers to the section of the catalog that it's found in, which is handy. That's awfully nice, provided they don't ever change sections, I suppose. But that's what the letter means in the part number. So it's in the D section of their full line catalog. This is a 13016. This is a cup stop with hook. I'm not sure where they're coming up with cup stop. I would call it a door stop with hook or a door stop and holder. The link below this video to the document called product page does indeed call it cup stop. And I have to feign ignorance. I have to not feign ignorance. I have to own ignorance. I don't know why they call it cup stop. They're obviously, well, in my opinion, referring to the base of the item. But anyway, let's move on. This is going to be a door stop and holder. What I like about IDH products is they do a better than average job than other suppliers, manufacturers, importers, whomever, at isolating all of the parts from each other. And there's another thing that they do great. I'll show that to you in a moment. You'll get items from manufacturers where they put the strike inside of the rest of the hardware, and invariably it shows up damaged, scratched, actually. IDH always does a great job with very heavy, thick material to help you receive it in such a condition that it looks like it's presentable, brand new, ready to go. Especially when it comes to hardware like an 015, and an 015 is a satin nickel. Satin nickel, the 015, they're really trying to say 619, which is the BHMA code for satin nickel, which means three things. It's made of solid brass, satin nickel finish with a lacquer applied. So IDH doing such a great job at isolating those components from each other helps the item look as if it's supposed to be a finished piece of hardware. No failures, no degradations, no scratches. That's definitely solid brass. I can tell from the hue of the material that this is a piece of solid cast brass. I believe the hook also is brass. I know it's non-ferrous, but I got to tell you, it feels... No, you know what? I'm going to say that that's brass. It feels heavy enough to certainly be brass. And speaking of weight, this item, at least with all of its components, weighs 0.96 pounds. One thing that I noticed, and one thing that IDH does, not always, but in some instances, they send you two different stops. Now, normally on your chrome, your anodized aluminum, your mill finish, your nickels, polished satin, you're going to have a gray bumper. Some people want black. This package has both. I don't know that that is standard for IDH because things like that evolve over time. But keep in mind, they will do as much as they can to accommodate. What I'm driving at is, if you're ordering one of these, feel free to indicate in the comment field when you're ordering it the color of the stop. And that information will get passed to the vendor, and if they can accommodate, they certainly will. So if you would prefer one color over the other, specify that. These stops would just be removed with these, replaced with these screws, okay? Now, what else is in the package? You've got the door stop and its holder. Obviously, you would not use this on a fire-rated door. That would run afoul of fire rating for a door to manually hold it open. You're also going to get the strike, or maybe the staple, you might call it. Here it is, another piece of solid brass material in a satin nickel finish. You're obviously going to be looking at that sort of arrangement. You're then going to get a fastener package. You're going to have a hanger bolt. You're going to have a threaded rod. You're going to have a lead anchor. You're going to have a couple of flathead sheet metal screws. And then you're going to have a third sheet metal screw, flathead, along with a plastic anchor. So with that hanger bolt, You could put the hanger bolt, half machine thread, half wood thread. Machine thread goes into that tapped hole, then you can take this, install it down onto your wood application. But before you do that, you'll use the plastic anchor and the loose screw in there to mark. Insert your plastic anchor if you need it, and then this hole here is what will keep it from rotating. The threaded rod would be used with that lead anchor that's there. And if you've ever used a lead anchor in the past, you'll know that you need a stick of dynamite to break those loose. If it's masonry construction or concrete, certainly you'll want to use that. You'll have no choice but use it in this sort of application. Then, of course, the other two screws will be for the holder plate. Okay, and that gives us everything. Let's take some dimensional properties of this item. They've got a base. The only dimension they give us two dimensions: 2 1/4 base diameter. That's almost correct, about 2 3/16. They give us a height of 4 inch. So holding it at the wrong orientation, you can see the overall is almost 4 inch, about 3 7/8. Now going further, and remember it's supposed to be installed. Generally, you'll see this installed on the wall with the little staple on the door. But holding it vertically so as to get the hook to lie straight, you'd be at about 5 inch from the wall to where the center of the staple is going to occur. And if we hold that without any of it falling off, we can get an idea of the total dimension from the wall to where the door would reside. And you can see that's about 6 1/8. So between the wall and the back side of the door, you're going to need about 6 inch to get that door to hold open, so be mindful of that. One nice thing of hardware like this is you can affect lots of different angles. Okay, obviously you're not going to be at 90 degree, but you could certainly be at degrees up to maybe 45 degree, I'd suppose, or 30 degree. So that will drastically reduce the amount of space needed, but it's not ever going to be below 5 inch or so, because this alone is 4 inch, right? So you're always going to be somewhere in that range. Like I said. There is a link below this video to a document called Product Page that will allow you to review those D-section door holders. Very nice quality from IDH. They have picked up the baton of many manufacturers that were or still are in business that would be considered a domestic manufacturer, providing items to industry that are no longer available by the traditional sources of that material. There are some sash locks and sash lifts that you really can't find by other people, and IDH is in a club of a very small club of those people who import quality brass hardware from Asia to fill the need of those items that are no longer available. If you're working on a house that's 100 years old, and it's not unheard of, there's going to be things that you're going to be able to get from IDH that frankly you can't get from other people, or at least not lots of choices. And what sets IDH apart, and while their inventory at times will lapse, they'll run out of something and then they're really out of it for a long time, is the quality of the fit and finish. I'm always satisfied, if not impressed, every single time I get a piece of hardware from them, because they package it so well. It's isolated, the quality of the packaging is good, you can tell that their control over process is very good when it comes to the manufacturing aspect of what they do. The balance of that product catalog will show you other door holder and door stop related items. Again, be mindful, we are speaking specifically of non-fire rated doors when you're doing any sort of manual door holder. There is a link below this video as well to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the IDH products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the IDH 13016 in an 015 finish, and before we wrap it up, let's tell you the other colors. I'm looking at other monitors here. IDH, forgive me. IDH 13016. The other finishes that we're going to have available to us, here they are, about 10 of them. 003 for polished brass, 005 for antique brass, 008 for bright copper, 015 for satin nickel, 019 for matte black, 026 polished chrome, 08A antique copper. Very occasionally somebody orders copper or antique copper. 10B for oil rub bronze, 15A for antique nickel, 26D for satin chrome. 3NL polished brass without lacquer, that's not unheard of. And then if I didn't already say it, it seems like I jumped over it, 015, 015 for satin nickel. Any questions on this or any other IDH product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.